Okay, let's take a look at practice question number 6. This was the one that had the table, which I reproduced for you up here, because we're going to do some cross multiplying, so that way you can see it up here on the board and not just listen to me go through it. All right, so the table above shows the data for the economy of Fruitland, which produces two goods, apples and oranges. All right, so for part A, it asks us, calculate the nominal GDP for year 2. All right, nominal GDP for year 2. So this one's pretty straightforward. We just take the price, all right, multiplied by the quantity of apples. So 6 times 10, all right, that's going to give us 60. All right, and then 5, the price of oranges, times 20, the quantity, that's going to give us 100. All right, so we got 160. Okay, so for part A, the nominal GDP is 160. Okay, that's the answer there for part A. All right, now it says use year 1 as the base year and calculate real GDP for year 2. All right, so if we want to use year 1 as the base year, what that means is we're going to use year 1 prices. All right, we're going to use year 1 prices as our base year. Okay, so then now what we do is we take the price of the base year and multiply it by the quantity in year 2, since we're trying to find real GDP for year 2. All right, same thing over here. The price of oranges multiplied, the price in the base year multiplied by the quantity in year 2. Okay, so what does that give us? All right, so if we go 4 times 10, that's going to give us 40. 10 times 20 is going to give us 200. So now we have 240. All right, so part B, real GDP using year 1 as the base year. Real GDP in year 2 is now 240. All right, 240. Okay. Part C says to calculate the GDP deflator. All right, so in order to calculate the GDP deflator, we have to take the nominal GDP, all right, which was 160. So we take 160, we divide by real GDP, which is 240. Take 160, divide by 240, and then multiply that by 100, all right, and we wind up getting 67, okay? So 67 is the value for the GDP deflator in this particular example, okay? All right, moving on, part D, all right, part D. Part D says, assume the market basket is composed of the quantities in year 1. Calculate the consumer price index for year 2. So first thing, in order to calculate consumer price index, okay, you have to take the current year's market basket divided by the base year market basket and then multiply that by 100. All right, so I'm going to write that over here. All right, for CPI, okay, you're going to take the current year's market basket divided by the base year, okay, and then multiply that by 100. Okay, that gives you the new CPI. It gives you the new CPI for the next year. All right, so let's see how we do that. All right, it says we want to use the quantities in year 1. Okay, the quantities in year 1. So let's do that first. Let's figure out what the CPI in year 1 would actually be. All right, so let's take a look. 4 times 15. All right, 4 times 15 would give us 60. 10 times 4 would give us 40. All right, so the CPI in year 1, all right, is 100, okay? But now it says that we want to use the quantities in year 1. So now what we have to do is a little bit of cross multiplication, right? So we're going to take 6 times 15, okay? 6 times 15, all right, which winds up being 90, right? Okay, 6 times 15 winds up being 90, all right? So we're going to take 90, right? And now we take, excuse me, the quantity of oranges, okay, multiplied by the price, okay, that winds up being 20. So now we've got 90, right, 6, the price multiplied by the quantity from year 1, that winds up being 90. 5 multiplied by the quantity from year 1, 20. So now you get 110 is the market basket, the CPI for year 2, okay? So now all we have to do is plug in our numbers. Take 100, all right, I'm sorry, 110, current year, 110 divided by 100, okay, multiplied by 100, all right, and that winds up giving you 110, okay? So your CPI for year 2 is 110, all right? And then if we look at part E, suppose apple and orange pickers received a 2% increase in wages. Based on your answer to part D, would real wages increase, decrease, or stay the same from year 1 to year 2? We answered yesterday that real wages are going to decrease. The reason why? Yes, the workers have gotten a raise, 2%, okay? But look at what's happened to the CPI. It's gone up 10%, all right? 100 to 110, that's a 10% jump in prices. So yeah, their income has gone up 2%, but prices are 10% higher. So they actually lost out. So their real wages are actually declining in that situation.